everybody, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, getting ready to go racing here tonight at Langley Speedway in Hampton, Virginia for the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division Dash for Cash. Race number 9 of 10 here tonight around the 0.39 mile legendary short asphalt oval in Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, the crowd is absolutely stacked out here tonight, ready to go racing in Virginia. Let's get you down on the main broadcast cam for tonight's opening ceremonies as the qualifying session is currently underway here. The Dash for Cash race number 9. 115 laps scheduled here tonight. 150 laps in fuel. 0 sets of tires. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at the Langley Speedway. 122 degree track temperature. We are getting ready to switch on over from the qualifying event here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like we got about 1 to 2 more cars still remaining in qualifying, and whenever we get the A-OK to bring up the results, you see him on their screen right now. Zach Evans, currently the fastest driver from Princeton, North Carolina here at the Langley Speedway. Moments away from the heat race, right around the corner. Grab another beer, light another cigarette. We'll be back with the racing in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are being told by the admin we are A-OK to go ahead and show the results for tonight's qualifying session. And sticking up on that pole will be the number 6 machine of Zach Evans. The top 3 drivers in tonight's qualifying session will advance automatically on over to tonight's main event, 115 lapper, and they'll start in the front 3-row spots. Ace Throckmorton will round out the front row with Zach Evans when we advance over to the main event. He'll stay out of the heat races here tonight. And the number 72, Ace Throckmorton Modified. Michael Johnson will be our 3rd and final Fast 3 driver here tonight at Langley. He'll start in the front row, 3rd position when we head to the 115 lapper. That means Dylan Thomas and everybody on back will head on over to the heat race. Dylan Thomas will lead the front row in the heat race number 1 with Patrick McPeak to the right outside of him from Mountain Airy, North Carolina. That's on the Booty Scoot Racing channel right around the corner. Stay tuned. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to switch on over here into the heat races here tonight. Gritting up, getting ready to start the one and only heat race we should have here tonight. Looks like we will have 8 contestants shake out this heat race, and seeing how things shake out here tonight as they load into the field. We'll pull up tonight's starting grid. Dylan Thomas, Patrick McPeak on the front row in heat race with Adam Peeler. Mike Doyle in the 2nd row. 3rd row will fill up with Josh Moore, Tony Cook, followed by the 4th row, Aaron Evans, Nate Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to go racing here tonight at the Langley Speedway. Still waiting on a couple more drivers to load in their modifieds. We'll get you down on the racetrack, let you meet your favorite drivers up close and personal. Dylan Thomas on the pole here in the heat race. Got several great runs and finishes this season. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like the rest of the field starting to while their way in. We're still waiting on 2 more modifieds. 20-lap heat race here tonight with an normal 15 that we would run on a normal weekly basis here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We will add 5 more laps here tonight. The payout window opens up 2 weeks from now when we head on over to the Richmond Raceway inside of the modifieds. Who's going to do what, when, where, why? Where do you stand in the point standings? We'll have all that great news and information for you as the night rolls on. On the pole tonight, driving this number 03 from Denison, Texas, the Wheeling Modified of Dylan Thomas. Starting on the outside of him, driving that number 61 from Mountain Airy, North Carolina, Patrick McPeak. Starting in the 2nd row, 3rd place position, driving the number 27, Peeler's Apple Ale, the Nurse Aviator, Landrum, South Carolina driver, the 27 of Adam Peeler. Starting in the 2nd row on the outside, a brand new paint scheme debuted here in Season 3 from Middletown, New Jersey, the I-85 Asphalt Series most popular driver, the 00, Mike Doyle. Starting in the 5th place spot here tonight, 3rd row, driving the 919 Modified M&K Trucking on board this week of Josh Moore. Starting on the outside of him will be the number 33 Bald Eagle Modified. Starting in the 6th place position of Tony Cook. Starting behind him will be the number 48 Crawfordsville, Indiana Hooters Modified of Aaron Evans. And starting in the final place spot here on the heat race in the 8th place position from Landrum, South Carolina, that's Nate Hall. So pace car will head them on up down the racetrack. We are getting ready to go racing here tonight at the beautiful Langley Speedway, folks. Hopefully you guys have found your seats as the fans are still piling in the stands here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to go racing here tonight for the heat race. We'll bring up tonight's track facts here at the Langley Speedway. 115 laps for the main event here tonight. 20 laps for the heat race getting ready to take place on your screen. 35-mile-an-hour pit lane around this asphalt short oval in Hampton, Virginia that opened in 1950 with 6 degrees of banking and all 4 corners. Get you back down here on the main broadcast cam, getting ready to go racing here tonight, live at the Langley Speedway in Virginia. We'll bring up tonight's weather report. 79 degrees at the drop of the green flag here. The heat race, 9-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from the northeast. Partly cloudy conditions here tonight in Virginia. The lights will come on for the main event here tonight. Dylan Thomas on the front row. On the outside of him will be Patrick McPeak. Second row followed by Doyle and Peeler. Cook Moore will fill out the third row. Peter the pace car pacing 8 modifieds here for the heat race here tonight. On the Booty Scoot Racing channel, we'll have 12 full cars rounding out the main event here tonight. Green flag in the air at the heat race at the Langley Speedway, live for the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division Dash for Cash race number 9 of 10. One more race remains, and Patrick McPeak is loose as a goose off turn 2 down the back straightaway into turn 3. Tony Cook pulls up Nerf bar, the Nerf bar with a 919 of Josh Moore. A little bit of contacts made right there. Tony Cook's able to hold on to the race car, though. Josh Moore gets shipped up the racetrack. He'll lose all the positions that he once had. Aaron Evans pulls door to door with Tony Cook. They'll battle and fumble down the back straightaway into turn 3 and 4. Aaron Evans, big time loose in this number 48 modified as they roll out the top 4 position. 18 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel's heat race. Ladies and gentlemen, the 00 Mike Doyle trying to make something shake in this 00 modified. He's on the bottom side of the racetrack. Had an opportunity to talk to Mike Doyle. Devious. Mike Doyle at that one goes around on the front straightaway. It's Adam Peeler. He's able to hold on to the race car, though. We'll keep it green on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. The Nurse Aviator of Adam Peeler able to collect that number 27 modified and get it up and moving. Mike Doyle will scoot up to that 3rd place position. Right now it's Dylan Thomas, McPeak, Mike Doyle, and Aaron Evans falling the top 4 positions here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Tony Cook goes around on the front straightaway off turn 4. Tony Cook goes around on the front straightaway here in heat race number 1 on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Will be the only heat race that we have here tonight. We are riding around the old timer Tony Cook in this number 33 LNR Wheeling modified. Riding out of the front nose of Tony as he heads down into turn 3 and 4. Gets hard on the brake. The 919 of Josh Moore to the outside of him. Tony looks like he's just trying to get down on the pit lane. And by the time he gets it down there, the caution flag is thrown for Peter the pace car heading his way out on the pit lane. Tony Cook will climb aboard that Wheeling modified. We'll get you back up here to the main broadcast cam live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We will just look it back here to the number 18 as they catch the tail end of the pace car. Lights are still on top of that pace car. Tony Cook exiting out of the race here in the heat race. Hopefully he can get himself regathered for the main event here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we do want to go ahead and announce here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel breaking news coming from the Home Run Cafe, sponsor of the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Our hearts and condolences go out to the Home Run Cafe family. As you clearly see, they posted on Facebook. As many as you may have heard, their owners, Reed and Tia, were recently involved in a serious accident, and you can kind of see the message on your screen right now. Thank you for your standing up with our sponsor here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, the Home Run Cafe, during this challenging time, and they're grateful for the amazing community and appreciate the prayers and support. We ask you to keep Tia and Reed in your prayers as they recover from this tragic accident. Proud sponsors of the Booty Scoot Racing channel, the Home Run Cafe has a friend in us. Green flag back in the air here for Dylan Thomas, Patrick McPeak, Aaron Evans, Josh Moore, and Adam Peeler, as well as Nate Hall in the heat race heading off of turn 2 and down the back straightaway. The top 4 drivers try to climb their way down into turn 3 and 4. Patrick McPeak's all over the back bumper of Dylan Thomas's 03 Wheeling modified. Aaron Evans door to door with Mike Doyle. They'll actually slap a little bit of a Nerf bar there. Nerf bar will do it for Mike Doyle. He'll grab the position in the 3rd place spot off the exit of turn 2, heading down the back straightaway down into turn 3 and 4. 11 laps to go. Going to be this time in the I-85 Langley Classic here tonight at the Langley Speedway, one of the most legendary short track asphalt ovals in America here in Hampton, Virginia. Patrick McPeak rolling all over the back bumper of Aaron Evans, trying to grab the heat race win here tonight. 3 points awarded to the race winner, as well as 2 to the second place finisher, and 1 point awarded to the third place podium spot here in the heat race. Josh Moore gets loose, Nate Hall gets loose, Adam Peeler trying to redial in this modified, get back up and move in here, challenging for some extra spots here, ladies and gentlemen, down into turn 3 and 4, the 00. Mike Doyle trying to roll over the back bumper of the Hooters, number 48 modified of Aaron Evans, and big time loose for Mike Doyle, and he's able to hold on to the race car. What a save from devious Mike Doyle. Ladies and gentlemen, this brand new Langley Speedway, in the previous update on iRacing, not the one that we just recently had a brand new artwork refresh to it, and they have absolutely worked miracles here at the Langley Speedway. A awesome view of this beautiful racetrack here in Virginia. Heading down the back straightaway, getting ready to dive down into turn 4, and out of turn 4 now as the leaders is Patrick McPeak and Dylan Thomas, They'll battle 6 laps to go in turn 2 onto the back straightaway, The NR3 design of Dylan Thomas modified is absolutely zooming here tonight at the Langley Speedway, but the sun is up. How will these modifieds be affected? What kind of crew chief changes will they make to the air pressure when the sun goes down and the lights come on here tonight? 5 laps to go in heat race. Battles all over the racetrack right now. Patrick McPeak trying everything he knows possible to get back around the green and black modified 03 machine of Dylan Thomas for the race win. Aaron Evans looking for an opportunity to get to the back bumper of these 2 drivers in front of him. If he can, you ride out the front carb air cleaner of Aaron Evans. Over the back bumper goes Mike Doyle. He's actually starting to pull away from him. 3 laps to go for the 61 of Patrick McPeak. Does he have enough left in these Hoosier tires? Remember, folks, we're usually set for about a 10 to 15 lap heat race week to week. We've done it 9 weeks here, every other week on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Payouts 2 weeks from now, the final championship race 2 weeks at the Richmond Raceway. Patrick McPeak trying to grab some bonus points to close up the gap that he's necessarily needing to break up that Michael Johnson machine, who qualified inside of the top Fast 3 drivers here tonight. White flag is in the air, presented to you by the Booty Scoot Racing channel's AFL Global.com. Heading off the exit of turn 2 and down the back straightaway, McPeak gets big time loose. And let's go ahead and seal it for the number 03 of Dylan Thomas. He'll win the heat race here tonight at Langley. Dylan Thomas wins the heat race here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live at the Langley Speedway from Denison, Texas. He'll grab the 3 bonus points and score them to his total score. A much needed points day for the 03. Ladies and gentlemen, warm-up session getting ready to take place on your screen. 5 minutes. These drivers will have to be able to dial in these race cars. That'll give us plenty of opportunity here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel to get you up and caught up with everything there is to know, from the point standings to all the breaking news to all of the information here to come in the coming weeks on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll start it out here. Tonight's Dash for Cash, race number 9. 1 more race remains after this, and we will head to the Richmond Raceway for the final race of the season. Heat races are already set here tonight. Qualifying was in the books as well. Here are the results from that heat race. Dylan Thomas, Patrick McPeak round out 1-2, followed by Aaron Evans and Mike Doyle. Josh Moore will take the top 5 position. Nate Hall will finish 6th. Adam Peeler 7th. Tony Cook 8th. Neil Rutt will finish 9th. We have our admin on race control, Nick Maynard, down there taking control of the action on aboard the racetrack. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be the perfect opportunity to bring up tonight's point session. These guys have been battling it out every 2 weeks on Mondays on the modified division for the last 8 races, trying to grab their way up to a top 10 points paying spot. Everybody that is in the top 10 points paying, that is anybody in green on your screen, will be paid out 2 weeks from now at the Richmond Raceway. Michael Johnson currently leads them right now, 361 points over Patrick McPeak's 298. But Patrick McPeak right there, second place heat race scored right there in the heat race. He'll grab 2 extra bonus points already, so you can go ahead and close the gap up just a smidge bit more. But Dylan Thomas putting in some work this season. He'll grab his first heat race win right there. Definitely needed those bonus points. He'll look to try to jump Zach Evans for that 3rd place points payout spot 2 weeks from now at Richmond. Ladies and gentlemen, Langley Speedway here at the I-85 Langley Classic getting ready to take place here in just a moment. Warm-up session is currently on our way. 115 lapper scheduled right around the corner here tonight in Virginia. We'll be back in just a moment on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Go grab another beer, light another cigarette, We're getting ready to have a hell of a time here tonight. Championship race 2 weeks from now. Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, getting ready to go racing here tonight live at the Langley Speedway for the Langley Classic for the I-85 Asphalt Series WHELEN Modified Division. As the drivers have just been called to the garage area, the lights will flicker on here in just a second, and we will get ready to have ourselves a virtual race here tonight at the Langley Speedway. We'll bring up tonight's race information for you. 115 laps scheduled around here tonight, 150 laps in fuel, 0 sets of tires in the pit stalls. We'll pull up tonight's starting grid. Zach Evans, Ace Throckmorton will share the front row. You see how they shake out behind you. Get you down on the main broadcast cam, and down here on the racetrack, let you meet your favorite drivers on the pole. Driver the number 6 Me Fine Modified from Princeton, North Carolina. It's Zach Evans. On the outside of him from South Boston, Virginia, driving the number 72 Triple S Throckmorton Modified, Ace Throckmorton. Starting in the second row, third place position here tonight, the point series leader of the I-85 Asphalt Series Modified, it's Michael Johnson. Starting in fourth, the heat race winner here tonight from Denison, Texas, driver the number 03 of Dylan Thomas. Driver the number 61 SP Modified here tonight from Mount Airy, North Carolina, that's Patrick McPeak. On the outside of him will be the Hooters number 48 WHELEN Modified from Crawfordsville, Indiana, of Aaron Evans. Driving the 00 Boardwick Modified here tonight from Middletown, New Jersey, the I-85 Asphalt Series most popular driver, 2-time Dash for Cash winner, Mike Doyle. On the outside of him will be the number 919 MNK Trucking Modified of Josh Moore. On the inside of him will be the Weekend Woodsman Landrum, South Carolina driver, the number 18 of Nate Hall. Driving the number 27 here tonight from Landrum, South Carolina, the Nurse Aviator, driving the 27 Modified of Adam Peeler. Tony Cook back in action here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We heard a broken brake rotor for the 33. They were able to replace that part and get it back out on the racetrack. He'll start from the 11th place spot here tonight. Neil, the third, back in action here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, driving the number 66 Allied Board and Safety Modified from Union Beach, New Jersey, 2-time WHELEN Modified I-85 Asphalt Series winner. He'll start at the back of the pack here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to get the one to go racing this time around. That'll give us the opportunity to bring up tonight's keys of the race. Maximize the points. We pay them out 2 weeks from now at Richmond. You want to be the top 10 in points. If you're not top 10 in points, you're getting no moolah when it's all said and done. Do not wreck here tonight. You wreck your modified, you won't have the chance to maximize the points. Bump when needed. The track is very, very flat and short. You're going to have to see the checkered flag in the end when it's all said and done for the opportunity to go to victory lane here tonight. Ace Throckmorton has the lights off on top of the base car. Looks like Peter will take at least one more lap around the beautiful Langley Speedway, as there is not an ass sitting down in the seats. Sold out crowd here tonight of 22,568 fans to check out the I-85 Asphalt Series I-85 Langley Classic 13 Modified. Shake out the field. Who is going to be in victory lane when it's all said and over with? The sun is completely went down the Virginia mountains. The lights are on. The moon is out. The engines are fired. The lights are off on top of the base car, indicating to us as race fans that we are getting ready to see the green flag here tonight in Virginia. Heading through the restart zone, green flag is in the air for the I-85 Asphalt Series Langley Classic here in Virginia. Whoa, already down here in turn 1 and 2. Several guys pile in the big one, the whole field. Lap number 1, turn 1, the whole field collected in a wreck right as the green flag was taken, and we missed it. We'll have to back that ass up and take a look and see exactly what just happened here on the Biddy Scoot Racing channel. That quickly, half the field is turned around, and this one's going to mean absolutely everything. Take a look coming across the start-finish line, beating and banging everywhere. Started up here in the front. Michael Johnson, Zach Evans, Throckmorton get turned around. Holy cow. We'll back that ass up, see if we can't get a better look at what just happened and took place here tonight on the Biddy Scoot Racing channel. Green flag to start the race. Steps on it. Throckmorton gets loose, spins his tires, and collects about 2 or 3 modifieds. Everybody else piles in. So we'll back that ass up one more time. We don't want to throw the blame on nobody. We don't want to, but we want to make sure everything was absolutely in the perfect spot. Ace Throckmorton on the front row. This number 72, WHELEN modified. Steps down on the gas. You see him get loose right there. Come on the inside of the race leader, Zach Evans, and he'll go around on the front straightaway. So will everybody else on the brake trying to get around. We'll get you back down here on the main broadcast cam, and we're going to have to dissect this one, folks. A huge caution flag on lap 1. A drop of the green flag, not even 100 feet into tonight's race. The starting leader of Ace Throckmorton, and that 72. WHELEN modified, spins its tires, collects a few guys on the front row. We'll have to clean it up. We'll be back here in just a moment on the Biddy Scoot Racing channel. Looks like the lights are off on top of the pace car, so there we are. Okay, never mind. Well, we'll keep it right here. We'll double file them up. We'll grab a restart, getting ready to re-rack them back green. These drivers were not aware of that one right there. I mean, there's nothing you could have probably done about that one. These drivers knew they probably should have took it a little bit easy on cold tires, but a little bit under overestimation of grip there. We'll have to see if we can't get a word from the crew chief and the spotter of Ace Throckmorton, the number 72, kind of see what went wrong inside of that modified. Dylan Thomas able to grab the race lead here, unfortunately, after starting from like the 4th or 5th place position. That's just how things work out here tonight at Langley. They'll work lap number 1 off turn 2. It'll really be lap number 6 the first time around the Langley Speedway here tonight. Is actually going to work its stuff clean after the pile up into turn 1 and 2, heading off the exit of turn 4. Side by side goes Tony Cook with Aaron Evans and the number 48 machine. Tony Cook riding with heavy hearts here tonight, the owner of the Home Run Cafes. We broke the news earlier that we asked you to please pray, donate, go check out the Home Run Cafe in Greer, South Carolina. All that you can do to help them out as they go through a tragic, tough time right now. The accident of the owners of Tia in Reed, as they were involved in a serious car accident. All proceeds will go to the recovery of those 2 individuals. However, the battle here tonight at the I-85 Asphalt Series, Langley Classy, 10 laps in. This next time around, Dylan Thomas has the race lead over Patrick McPeak, Zach Evans, Neil Rutt, and Aaron Evans. That'll be the top 5 drivers here tonight on the Biddy Scoot Racing channel, working their way out of turn 4 and back across the line. Patrick McPeak trying to make something shake here tonight in this number 61 SP modified. He's had a decent season all year long. He's currently sitting 2nd in the standings as we speak. He's about 58 points or so behind Michael Johnson's number 40 machine. Michael Johnson was definitely involved in that accident early on here tonight. He's in the 11th place position. So Patrick McPeak has a vulnerable opportunity on his hands right now to close up that points gap, leading here tonight at Langley, heading into Richmond 2 weeks from now. You never know what could happen here on the Biddy Scoot Racing channel. There's bonus points, there's heat races, there's plenty of ways to try to work your way around on the Biddy Scoot Racing channel. Patrick McPeak looks to take his time a little bit necessarily right here, and Dylan Thomas pulls away to about a half-second lead. Neil Rutt III moving up here for his 2nd start of the season, here in Season 3. 2-time winner of the WHELEN Modified Division. He actually took the race at the Milwaukee Mile after starting from the back half of the field. We were low on car count. Neil Rutt was able to fill in from the field. He's back out here tonight at the Langley Speedway. We had an opportunity to talk to ruthless Neil Rutt in the garage area. Neil told us that he loved the Langley Speedway. He preferred Langley over Lanier, located in North Carolina. We asked him why. He said, well, Langley kind of fits like Wall Stadium, very flat, fast track, and Neil Rutt III has cut his teeth on these modified short tracks in the Northeast of the United States of America for well over the better half of 10 to 15 years. Neil Rutt going to look for an opportunity to go to victory lane again here tonight in Season 3, but he's going to have to save a little bit of tire on this Allied Boardwick modified here tonight. If he wants an opportunity, he's then collected the outside wall twice. Ace Throckmorton absolutely radio over to his crew chief right there to tell everyone, I apologize. Ace Throckmorton steps on the gas a little bit too hard on the initial start of tonight's race on the lap number 1 and through the restart zone. Ace Throckmorton goes from the front row back to the 6th place position. He'll have to try everything he knows possible to try to work this Triple S Throckmorton team back into contention tonight. A caution flag will be the best thing possible right now for Ace Throckmorton. He still has a little bit of damage that he needs to get fixed in that left rear nerf bar. Right now he stands out in the 6th place position, cutting some decent lap times around the Langley Speedway. Pretty much throw a blanket over the top 4 of maybe 5 drivers right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel as Aaron Evans right out the front of his Hooters number 48 nose as he heads down into turn 1 and 2. You hear him really off the gas and applying the gas back late, saving a little bit of tire for this Aaron Evans machine from Crawfordsville, Indiana. Aaron Evans has had a pretty decent season as well in his 48. Hasn't had the luck pretty much go his way. I mean, he's been literally locked door to door with people. He's been locked tire to tire. That was one crazy wreck that we had on the year. Aaron Evans just hasn't had the finishes that he's been looking for, but had a very, very fast car and a very, very decent season. This number 6, Zach Evans, not to be confused with Aaron Evans. No relation between these two drivers. Aaron Evans and Zach Evans have been battling it out all year, but Zach Evans has been right here in this 6th machine. He's been the one that's going the victory lane. He picked up the victory at the Southern National Speedway the night of the doubleheader with the late model stock division, where you can check out here tomorrow night. The late model stocks take on their Dash for Cash race number 9 of the I-85 Asphalt Series at the Oxford Plain Raceway. The first time we've ever been here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. That is definitely going to be a banger. Right now, though, the top 3 drivers absolutely cutting it up here at Langley. We're 25 laps into tonight's I-85 Langley Classic here in Virginia. I think it's only right we get you down on the racetrack for tonight's first I-85 Asphalt Series Fast and Loud. here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We appreciate you sitting with us through that technical difficulty right there as we lost connection to the race there. From what I've gathered and understand, we have been completely caution-free up to this point so far. Since we have backed out, we will re-rack things and make sure everything is back up and moving for you. If anybody has any issues hearing me, seeing anything on their side of the stream, please drop a comment. We'll try to get that fixed away for you. Right now, though, we appear to look like we are back online and doing everything okay. Right now, the battle for the race lead is Dylan Thomas in the control of the race. Where we left out just a moment ago, Zach Evans trails away in the distance in this number 6 Me Fine Modified. Behind him is Neil Rutt, Patrick McPeak, Ace Throckmorton, Aaron Evans, and Adam Peeler. Ladies and gentlemen, technical difficulties here tonight is you're working with fiber optics and shit like that. I happen to have experience. Shit can go wrong from time to time, but we're going to bring it right back to here tonight and get you off where we left off. Ladies and gentlemen, in the middle of that fast and loud, we've seen guys starting to make passes and moves all throughout the field, and right now Neil Rutt III is charging his way up through the field. He'll make the pass around Zach Evans, and Patrick McPeak will plug the hole underneath them. They'll battle door to door. Nerf bar, the Nerf bar off of turn 4 across the line, down into turn 1. Neil Rutt III clears about a half car length about over the 61's nose, and door to door now goes this number 72 machine of Ace Throckmorton, who caused the first initial and only caution flag up to this point. We're almost halfway through tonight's I-85 Langley Classic, and these guys are putting on an absolute clinic and a show for you folks. We apologize for the technical difficulties on our end, but we'll try to work through those and get them back to you. Right now, Zach Evans is on his way to working his way up through the field. You see him do this time and time again in this number 6 machine behind Ace Throckmorton. He'll go back a little bit, cut off the lap times just a tad bit smoother than the guys in front of him, and it'll save the tires. And Zach Evans finds his ways up towards the front, towards that back half of these events. However, though, Tony Cook has blown another brake rotor on this number 33 WHELEN Modified, so they have pulled off of the track here tonight. Look at this battle between Michael Johnson and Adam Peeler, and this is actually a huge, significant difference in what could happen in the payouts at Richmond 2 weeks from now. We'll head to Richmond 2 weeks from now, where the drivers will continue to battle out the final race of the season here in Season 3. We have had confirmation from the league that there should be a Season 4 of the Modified. Has not been confirmed 100% yet, but there should be another season. We'll have those to you 2 weeks from now at Richmond when things continue to develop and chase around. However, Neil Rutt III moves up to that second place position, trying to run down Dylan Thomas, the race leader. They'll all battle off of turn 3 and 4 and back down into turn 1 and 2. Could pretty much throw a blanket over 3rd through 5th right now. Neil Rutt trying to cut down the distance to Dylan Thomas and that 03 NR3 Designs machine. And if Neil Rutt could pull off the upset here tonight at the Langley Speedway, that would really re-rack and throw the points all over the place, because Neil Rutt, part-time driver, not running for the championship here inside of the Season 3 WHELEN Modified division. So if he could steal a couple points from these guys, kind of shake up the point standings, I think maybe 7-8 points separated, like 8th to 5th or something like that, and those are big-time differences in the payout money. We're talking maybe $5, $10, $20 to your wallet when it's all said and done. Drivers are going to want to at least try to make back their $5 pay entry fee. That is the 10th and final spot payout is $5. You'll make your money back if you can finish in the top 10 in points. Patrick McPeak's got a hard charging battle of Ace Throckmorton all over the back bumper of this number 61 machine. Neil Rutt III in his 66. Starting to get a mirror full of 61 to Patrick McPeak, or Dylan Thomas starting to slow down, hold up traffic late here at Langley. Ladies and gentlemen, we left you out here. We had a technical difficulty, We brought it back here on the racetrack. We got you back in action here on the Langley Speedway. We'll get you back down on the racetrack for another Fast and Loud. on the main broadcast cam. Looks like we've had a pass for the lead here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Neil Rutt III has the number 66 WHELEN modified out front. Dylan Thomas is going backwards here late. He's lost 2 positions since falling from the race lead about 3 laps ago. The Denison, Texas driver is going to have to get it up and move and try to get something to work back here. Josh Moore starting to feel the effects of the tire wear in this M&K 919 modified. He's off the track slowly, but he's up and moving. We'll keep it underneath the green conditions here tonight. Zach Evans, Dylan Thomas, Ace Throckmorton, Patrick McPeak, and Neil Rutt round out the top 5 drivers here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Really, the points battle is right here between Patrick McPeak and Michael Johnson. The orange modified and the gold modified. Look at Dylan Thomas trying to cross back over the Triple S Throckmorton modified of Ace Throckmorton. 1 caution flag has flown so far here tonight out of the 62 laps ran. It was on lap number 1, 100 feet into the race, where the race leader of Ace Throckmorton in this red, black, and silver Triple S Throckmorton modified just stepped on the gas a little bit too hard on the initial start of the race and went around. Look at Nate Hall and the number 18 Weekend Woodsman WHELEN modified from Landrum, South Carolina, working his way right out of the way for the faster guys on the racetrack. Etiquette is what keeps these leagues moving around and keeps the races flowing. Maybe one day on the back end, it could be 2 weeks from now. These guys will remember the number 18 of Nate Hall moving over for them, allowing them to race it out for positions, and they'll do the same thing to Nate Hall when he's in that predicament. Nate Hall showing why he's a true contender for a driver of the year here on the I-85 Asphalt Series. Some great etiquette racing here tonight from the 18 team. Started with 25 WHELEN modifieds on the regular season, and here we are, folks, only down to like 13 when it's all said and done. So imagine you find yourself into a paid entry league where it's $5 an entry. 25 people pay the entry fee, and when it's all over with towards the back half of the year, there's 12 of you. You pretty much had an easy opportunity to take advantage of people throwing away their cash at the Dash for Cash, who just couldn't stick around long enough or gave it all up and threw it away. You know, it's those kind of things that make these leagues very, very interesting. Been doing this for well over 2 years. Ace Throckmorton down on the bottom side of the racetrack, starting to use the apron for some grip, and he gets him big time loose. What a save from the number 72, the 15-year-old, starting to show his true wheel skills. The 919 of Josh Moore will scoot right out of the way, 3 wide for just a moment. Josh Moore showing the etiquette here as well in this 919 modified, letting the lead half-pack guys group race it out here at Langley. 70 laps are completed out of the 115. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys still have a lot more racing left here to go. Neil Rutt can't just keep turning down qualifying time laps after lap after lap. Patrick McPeak has to understand this. And this number 61 WHELEN modified, Patrick McPeak continues to try to put down fast laps, trying to run down Neil Rutt for the win here at the Langley Speedway. He's going to have trouble. He's going to find himself over-abusing the right front, over-abusing the right rear, hitting him up, losing grip on the long run. And that's when Ace Throckmorton needs to take an advantage to himself as well in the account that maybe Patrick McPeak does a little bit too much here and runs him down. We've seen Zach Evans in this number 6 WHELEN modified sit back most majority of the year, make these runs laid up towards the front half of the field. He did the same thing here tonight. We've seen him back out, give these guys space to work and move and run around. Zach Evans slowly starting to eat back into the back bumper of that 72 of Ace Throckmorton. Patrick McPeak trying to run down the race leader in Neil Rutt. We'll check the lap times this last time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It was a 15.0 for Patrick McPeak and a 15.1 for Neil Rutt III. We'll check it this time. Give it just a second to update and refresh. A 15.075 for Patrick McPeak to a 15.085 of Neil Rutt III. So they're just matching lap times right now with one another. And if Neil Rutt III, the race leader, is trying to save a little bit of Hoosier rubber, that could be the better option for him on the back half of the race here tonight. You see the speeds, I mean, almost visibly to the eyes, have slowed down here tonight. Throckmorton starting to work on the inside of this number 61 of Patrick McPeak. This is the battle for the second place position. Zach Evans is just going to sit back here, wait for an opportunity to pounce at the second place spot. blinking in and blinking out is Ace Throckmorton. The drivers I'm almost positively sure aware are going to talk over the radio communications chat that each driver has with one another and relay the message to Ace Throckmorton that his internet connection issues could be a problem racing up here in the top 4 positions. Right now, though, the top 4 drivers, you could throw a blanket over. It's Neil Rutt III, maybe heated up these Hoosier tires a little bit too much here at the Langley Speedway, whereas Patrick McPeak put together something here late, and he's got a trail of cars right there behind him. They're going to have to all be perfect. Working lap number 79, going to be lap 80 this next time around at the Langley Speedway, down into 3 and 4. This is the I-85 Asphalt Series Langley Classic live here in Virginia. We'll step away real quick for a side-by-side commercial break. You won't miss a thing. We'll bring up the battle box. Neil Rutt leads them at Langley. Welcome back on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Excuse me as we step side by side for station identification here live at the Langley Speedway. Battle box currently taking place on your screen right now as the battle goes pretty much between these top 4 drivers nose to tail here at the Langley Speedway. It's led by ruthless Neil Rutt III and this number 66 Wheelen modified. You see him right there. White, red, and black are the colors this week to the black and orange modified behind him of Patrick McPeak. Patrick McPeak's probably been one of the better long, consistent runners that we've had. He's got every single start underneath his belt on the regular season, where Neil Rutt's making his second start here tonight at Langley. Neil Rutt trying to fill in the field, bring up the car count here for the modified division. We signed up with 25 drivers paid entry fee, and every one of those drivers paid the entry fee, many of them not returning here when it's close to the back half of the races. Michael Johnson in this number 40. Typically all we could ever talk about is the Pacematic modified of Michael Johnson. He turns a 15-1-9-9 to Neil Rutt's 15-1-8-8 that last time around. Michael Johnson trying everything he knows possible to get back up towards the front. Got a little bit of damage in that opening wreck that we had on lap number 1, 100 feet into tonight's race, where we had a guy spin their tires on the front row. We got another guy big time loose right here. It's Zach Evans. He's down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Is Zach Evans maybe blowing a tire or something? He's got to re-merge back into the racetrack on the back half of turn 2. Some respectful driving right there from Zach Evans. You know us, we'll give it to them where they praise and where they need it at. Zach Evans makes a mistake there, gets big time loose. Instead of just jumping back up into the corner and letting guys run him over or blocking and impeding the running of traffic, he'll just wait, give up the position, merge back onto the racetrack safely. Some great driving going on here tonight from every driver in the field, really making this race turn around. Caution flag back on lap number 1, and that's been the only one we've had up to this point. 25 laps to go here at the Langley Speedway, and it's a 3-way battle for possibly the race win here tonight. Neil Rutt III from Union Beach, New Jersey leads them in the white, red, and black 66 modified from Union Beach, New Jersey. Neil Rutt don't have it all the way patched up yet, though. He'll have lap traffic ahead of him with Josh Moore on the number 919 WHELEN modified. Josh Moore has been really respectful all season long, and he's been respectful here tonight as well. He's already scored 2 laps down. Not 2 laps. He's only scored 1 lap down. He's in the lucky dog position. He has every reason to try to fight to stay on this 1 lap down position, but does he impede the traffic of the leader? No, he doesn't. He'll take it in the top of turn 1 and 2. That'll allow the second and third place driver to work their way down here to 3 and 4. That'll allow Neil Rutt, though, to move out to about an 8-car gas length lead. 21 laps to go here at Langley. "21 laps to go here at the Langley Speedway." Guys are just holding on for dear life. Michael Johnson able to salvage a decent day with 20 laps to go. Start cracking, the top 5 position. The regular season point series leader trying to hold on to this championship spot, knowing that the final race is 2 weeks from now at Richmond. Michael Johnson almost needed a win here tonight to mathematically make it impossible, but he won't get it. He's only in the 5th place position. Still got 19 laps to go. Plenty of racing. Patrick McPeak, Ace Throckmorton exchanging Nerf bars several times that previous lap, trading paints with one another. Patrick McPeak taking the racing line down into turn 1 and 2 above that yellow line. You see Throckmorton starting to use the apron a little bit. It's starting to give away a little bit more time, and if Throckmorton is not careful, he'll start eating at that right rear tire, starting to heat it up. He'll lose grip overall on the long run, and it'll start to separate him in the 61 of Patrick McPeak. Right now, Zach Evans, Michael Johnson, slam Nerf bars out of turn 2, down into turn 3, and Zach Evans, whoa, grabs the position. You see Michael Johnson's braking rotors really starting to glow red here. Several laps into the race. I mean, we are pushing now 100 laps complete here tonight. Patrick McPeak, Throckmorton, door to door, Nerf bar for the 2nd place spot. Langley, being Langley, as they say, putting on a show for the fans. Ace Throckmorton gets a bumper from Patrick McPeak, gets him loose up the racetrack. Some crazy racing going on now. Throckmorton gets off the gas early. He'll look to size up the 61 and give it back to him. Nerf bar slam there for the Ace Throckmorton machine. Off of turn 2, down into turn 3. Throckmorton hits the bumper one more time to Patrick McPeak. Tries to get him. Mike Doyle goes around and the caution flag flies. Caution flag out on the racetrack for Mike Doyle in the 00 Whelen Modified. 98 laps in a row. We'll get another caution flag at Langley for Mike Doyle in the 00 machine. We'll back that ass up for the instant replay. Watching the 2nd place battle take place here at Langley between the top 2 drivers and Patrick McPeak and Throckmorton. Those 2 guys not sparing each other an inch. We'll watch the wreck here. Mike Doyle down at the bottom of turn 3 and 4. Maybe got some help from Adam Peeler. Yeah. 2 teammates tangling it out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll back that ass up one more time and take a look from a different angle. Mike Doyle just trying to hold on to this 9th place position. Adam Peeler trying to get around him, and maybe it looks like both of these drivers either locked up a tire or something beyond those measures, because I cannot see these guys wanting to wreck each other intentionally. We'll look at it one more time. Mike Doyle down here on the bottom side of the racetrack and looking out the tailpipe cam, and he got off the gas pretty early, and this maybe looks like Adam Peeler wasn't ready to anticipate for that checkup like they were thinking, and that will lead to that wreck right there. Mike Doyle still out on the racetrack, though, doesn't appear to have messed up his Whelen Modified. And ladies and gentlemen, 2nd caution flag here tonight, and there's only going to be about maybe 7 or 6 laps to go when we've received the green flag. Union Beach's driver Neil Rutt III has driven up from the back half of the field. His starting spot here tonight in the 11th place position. He will be the Hard Charger award if he could bring home the win here tonight for his MND Motorsports Whelen Modified team. On the outside of him is Patrick McPeak, he's got the difference here is Patrick McPeak has all 8 starts underneath his belt here on the I-85 Asphalt Series, compared to Neil Rutt making his 2nd start of the season here tonight at Langley. So experience could definitely play the difference in factor here on this restart. Patrick McPeak needs to get through the restart zone without the black flag and make sure he gets a great restart into turn 1 down on the quarter panel of Neil Rutt III. Neil Rutt's going to be looking to try to pass that off, but Rutt fires off, and it's a great restart by Patrick McPeak down into turn 1 and 2. There'll actually be door banging, Nerf bar all the way off turn 2, and the admin actually able to get it down here. We'll get 8 laps to go racing here tonight at the Langley Speedway to call it quits. Off the exit of turn 3 and 4, 1 goes around. It's Dylan Thomas, and caution flag flies here at the Langley Speedway. Kind of maybe anticipated that one coming here. We've seen some guys get stacked there off of turn 3 and 4. I was actually able to get the camera over there to it. Dylan Thomas going to be the victim here, and they work down off of turn 3 and 4. Zach Evans just gets loose, gets up the racetrack right into the left rear of Dylan Thomas. Dylan Thomas goes for a ride here at the Langley Speedway. See if we can't look out that left rear cam of this 03 Denison, Texas Drivers Modified and see exactly what he's seen. Coming down into the corner, see Zach Evans get in there a little bit harder than maybe he wanted to. Get on that paint, get loose, and ships Dylan Thomas around. Ass in first into the victory lane sign on the front straightaway. And near disaster for him and Josh Moore, but they're actually able to hold it apart, ladies and gentlemen. This should take us close to the restart, if not a overtime finish here tonight. Third caution flag here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Neil Rutt III is currently the race leader, and the lights should head off on top of the pace car this time around, and if they do, we'll get a 3-lap shootout to decide it here tonight at Langley. And that looks like exactly what we'll do here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. If you're loving what you're seeing, make sure tomorrow night you press that like button, you press that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. The late model stocks in business for race number 9 of the Dash for Cash at Oxford Plains Raceway in Mississippi. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be one hell of a show. We've never been there before. Tons of drivers getting ready to see Oxford tomorrow night for the first time in ever. Here on the I-85 Asphalt Series, Neil Rutt steps back down on the gas. Patrick McPeak needs another great restart to make sure he has the opportunity. He'll actually put the bumper to the back of Neil Rutt out of turn 1 and 2. He spins him around, checking him up. Oh! Spinning out of turn 3 and 4. Patrick McPeak. Throckmorton goes up and over on his lid. Michael Johnson never lifts it. Wow! I'm speechless on what I just seen on my screen here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. What just happened? Patrick McPeak all over the back bumper of Neil Rutt III out of turns 1 and 2, and Michael Johnson never lifted and sends Throckmorton right over on his lid. We'll back that ass up here for the instant replay. Take a look and see what happened from Billy the Blimp driver. You see McPeak's clear there. He gets it to the left rear. Then let they tangle around goes Neil Rutt. Throckmorton turns Patrick McPeak around, and Aaron Evans goes around as well. We'll see if we can't ride with Ace Throckmorton through this whole ordeal as he takes a ride here at the Langley Speedway and just never gets off the gas with the wreck happening right in front of him. A wild ride there for several drivers on the back straightaway into turn 3 at the Langley Speedway, and Neil Rutt III is down on the pit lane. His night's going to be over. He's not going to be happy with the way that he was just raced right there from Patrick McPeak in the number 61 WHELEN modified. Patrick McPeak will go to the tail end of the field there for being the cause of the accident. Unfortunate there for the 61 of Patrick McPeak. He definitely needed those extra bonus points. This will put Michael Johnson, no pun intended, right in the driver's seat. The point series leader of Season 3, championship favorite. If he can win the race here tonight, it'll make that points gap lead even more sweeter and possibly triple digits. And Mike Johnson has a chance to lock up the championship here in the closing overtime laps. Lights are off on top of the base car. Zach Evans on the outside of him. Mike Doyle in third. Two of the most paced drivers find themselves up front with a chance to win it. How coincidental. Green flag back in the air here at Langley for a 2-lap shootout in the overtime. Down into turn 1 and 2 on the Booty Scoot Racing channel off of 2. Evans goes door to door with Evans. Evans and Evans, 48 in the 6. Now Dylan Thomas throws it out on the bottom side. Michael Johnson will take it down into turn 1 and 2 for the final time here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Off the exit of turn 2, heading down into turn 3 and 4 for the final time here tonight. Michael Johnson brings them through turn 3 and 4. Checker flag for the number 40 Pacematic Modified. What a win here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the number 40 Pacematic Modified of Michael Johnson as the fireworks go off in turn 3. Michael Johnson didn't even have to earn it. Didn't lead a single lap besides the final 2. Staying out of all of the carnage, Michael Johnson brings it to the front straightaway in front of the fans. Does he burn it down? You damn betcha. Michael Johnson grabs another win here in Season 3 of the Modifieds. inside of the number 40 Pacematic Modified as he will burn it down. Look at this fan down here. Please step away from the fence area. Michael Johnson sees that fan down there going crazy. He'll put the nose right up there to him, give him what he wants. Michael Johnson, a man of the fans. He'll work his way back around towards this front straightaway here where he'll burn it down for the fans, pull it in the victory lane. And we'll be back here in just a moment. Chaos in the closing laps here tonight. Neil Rutt involved inside of an accident. He's still down on the pit lane, but it's Michael Johnson winning it when it's all said and done. Back in just a moment on the Booty Scoot Racing channel when we return. Here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the post-race show live at the Langley Speedway for the I-85 Asphalt Series, race number 9 of the Dash for Cash live here in Langley Speedway in, beautiful Hampton, Virginia. A beautiful day to go racing, or a beautiful night, I should add, to go racing. All was awesome. 90-plus green flag laps turned to chaos there in the closing laps. Michael Johnson able to go to victory lane when it's all said and done. The point series Season 3 leader continuing his dominating season here in Season 3. And as we wait for Michael Johnson, I do not think Michael is in the interview waiting area quite yet for the interview. So as we wait for Michael Johnson to join in there, we will have him in just a moment. Maybe that'll give us the opportunity to scoot down here, maybe grab a word from the second place driver of Aaron Evans inside of this number 40. Oh, there it is. Michael Johnson just joins in the garage interview waiting area. Michael Johnson, we'll bring him over here into the broadcasting booth. And Michael, welcome aboard the broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
I sure do.
Michael, chaos there in the closing 6-7 laps. 6-7, not how coincidental is that? But Michael, an absolutely different strategy is what we'll call it here tonight that we've seen approach we've seen taken from you here tonight. We had that big wreck on lap 1, maybe 100 feet into the race where the front row spun their tires and collected a ton of guys. You elected to sit back, save a little bit of tire, go 90-plus green flag laps. Here at the end, though, you find yourself in victory lane. Walk us through it.
Yeah, the opening lap was not ideal. I saw a stop warning and start getting his car turned left. So instead of throttling up and trying to get through it, I tried to slow down, and it didn't look like the people behind me saw that. And I mean, it was Patrick. He's my car owner, so I mean, he apologized. He just didn't see it. Put me to the rear. I want to say I was saving tires, but my car was so loose I couldn't control it for like 15 laps. And then I'd finally, heat got in the tires and started catching up, and a few good yellow flags came out, which got me in position.
It was a hell of a race here tonight. Langley, being Langley, putting on some great racing, as always. Just kind of walk us through, I'm pretty much going to try to ask everybody this, the brand new iRacing update last week, rebuilt these modifieds from the ground up. Kind of walk us through what you felt and the experience that you had here tonight.
These are totally different cars, 1,000% different cars, and the first time I got in this new setup was during the practice round today, and it took every bit of the 45 minutes for me to get used to. And it paid off. So I gathered the car, I figured out what it does in certain situations. So yeah, it paid off.
We gladly appreciate you showing up here again this week and dominating, and you didn't even have to show everybody that you needed to lead every single lap. You'll win your third race on the season. Anybody you'd like to thank aboard this number 40 machine?
Yeah, I want to thank Pacematic, PSR, AF1 Racing. I recently joined them, so we're gonna have a good season next year, full season. And I want to thank NR3 Designs for the sick decals on our car, and he should be able to do our decals next year.
And we appreciate you. Michael Johnson wins his third race of the season here in Season 3. And the championship favorite looks to try to lock it up 2 weeks from now at Richmond. We appreciate you, Michael.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we will scoot on down here to the second place finisher here tonight, driver of the number 48 of Aaron Evans. And Aaron had an awesome race here tonight as he joins us into the broadcast booth right now. The number 48 Hooters Modified collected in maybe one or two accidents here tonight, but when it's all said and done, podium P2 finish for Aaron Evans. Kind of walk us through it, big guy.
Well, these new tires definitely didn't feel the greatest at first. Was pretty slow in practice, really slow, trying to build the heat into them during qualifying and just wasn't able to do that. And I think I finished P3 in the I don't know what to call it.
The heat race. The heat race.
The heat race. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of a brain buffer after this one. Put me in a good spot, and then just got turned around lap 1, turn 1, which happens. No fault to anybody. Especially when we're all racing so hard. Then just worked my way back to where I think I was P6 for most of it. Got that last caution, which brought me back up to the field. Got a few positions. We had that green-white checkered, which I'm glad everybody's okay, because there was a car upside down and looked like there was a car sideways. Or not sideways, but on their side. And it kind of, the seas parted during that last restart, got past, I think it was Mike Doyle, and then got past Zach to get the second place, which is tied for season best, or my personal season best, so hopefully we can get a P1 sometime soon, get the Hooters Mobile in victory lane.
And we appreciate you, Aaron. An absolutely great run here tonight. A P2 finish for the number 48 as you continue to climb up the standings. Payouts 2 weeks from now at Richmond. You still have maybe a couple more chances to keep climbing up the point standings, maybe earn a little bit more reward. Anybody you want to thank on top of this 48 machine as we get ready to head to Richmond 2 weeks from now?
Well, I want to thank my fiance for putting it on, and Neil for inviting me in, helping me figure it all out. If you don't mind me saying real quick, because I won't be here. I'll be here next race, but it'll be a different month by then. Since June is Men's Mental Health Month, just everybody out there, you're loved, you're cared for. Don't do it. You got a bigger purpose than what it seems. So, on that note, I will leave you a good night. Thank you for putting us on.
We appreciate it. That's Aaron Evans, driver of the number 48 from Crawfordsville, Indiana. He'll bring home the podium P2 finish. We appreciate you, Aaron.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. That's Aaron Evans as he brings home that podium P2 spot here tonight, reminding everybody about Men's Mental Awareness Month in the month of June. Make sure you guys go get checked out. Do not let it sit and think about it. Don't do it. We'll scoot back here to the third place finisher here tonight from Princeton, North Carolina. Knowing his role and continuing to climb up the standings, Zach Evans and the number 6 machine here tonight from Princeton, North Carolina. Zach, kind of walk us through your race here tonight and the steady topic all season long. Fall back a little bit when you see the pace starting to go green. Save a little bit of tire and make the run late. Maybe thought you had a chance at it late. Kind of walk us through it.
Boy, what a night. Obviously, started on lap 1. Got the... Ace had the little tire spin there on the start, caught me in the right rear, and you know, that was definitely not how I expected the start of the race to go, but you'll have that, especially with this update to the modified here. We all knew cold tires were going to be a challenge at the start, um, and they were. Uh, kind of settled into a rhythm. I didn't even want to fall back as far as I did, honestly. I thought track position was going to be really important, and I just overshot turn one time, just missed my mark, and they all lined up underneath me over the next 2 laps. I went from second to fifth there. I was like, well, okay, I'm here now, and tried to keep the right rear underneath it. Tried to be smart. Got up to fourth, and then was just trying to find any way I could around, Ace there, and instead I found the crater over here on the inside of turn four. And I'm surprised I didn't put it in the inside wall right there and bring out a caution. Um, Probably got. I'm not gonna say that was skill. That was probably stupid luck, is what that was. But fortunately, we didn't bring out the caution. We didn't wad up this Me Fine modified, and we waited until the caution did come out and tried to mix it up there at the end. And there was a lot of bouncing around and a lot of net code, and somehow at the end of it, we came home third. So I guess that's a good points night. Not probably not enough to really cut into the gap on Patrick for second, but overall, with everything that happened tonight, it's hard to complain about a third place finish here.
Exactly, and that was going to be my next question to you, Zach. Over 95 plus green flag laps there in a row during that green flag run after the first initial wheel spin that took you out. Kind of walk us through the etiquette inside of the modified division. Had several lap cars moving out of the way for you guys, letting you guys race it out. Just total respect here in Season 3. The payouts 2 weeks from now at Richmond, how do you feel about it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I know that's been certainly a talking point here in I-85 between the Monday night gang and the Tuesday night gang, but I think that's the beauty of this league is we were able to race so long green flag without any issues. And the haters are gonna say it's because we only had 12 cars or whatever, but you saw how close the top four were running all night, and yeah, we did end up getting into each other, but I mean there weren't any hard feelings. All that everybody who had issues, they owned up to it or offered apologies, or nobody's yelling, nobody's cussing, nobody's throwing a fit, nobody's asking for rule changes, nobody's showing the rear end or anything like that, and that's kind of all you can ask for with this iRacing deal. At the end of the day, we take it seriously, don't get me wrong, especially when you put a little bit of money on the line and you don't want to put in the time, the effort, the practice, and all that to get wrecked and have your night ruined and have it all go for naught. But things are going to happen, and at the end of the day, it's a video game. We don't have to go back and actually fix these cars. We don't have to spend money on them. We don't have to put the race fuel in them or pay however much for the Hoosier tires and all of that. So you just gotta have to put it all in perspective at the end of the night. And I think at the end, when it's all said and done, as long as you can come out of the deal and congratulate Michael on a hard-fought win, and talk about what fun we had racing with each other and trying to figure out this new modified following the update, and trying to figure out exactly how to solve that puzzle so that we could put on, as a group, a good race, like you say, 2 weeks at Richmond with those championship and that purse money on the line. And hopefully season 4, we'll see a few more cars. I know I've talked to some guys and tried to recruit some guys I know would fit the mold here. Hopefully we'll be able to boost these car counts a little bit and keep the same great racing we've been putting on Monday nights here for everybody watching on Booty Scoot Racing.
We appreciate it. That's the number 6 of Zach Evans. He'll bring home another top 5 finish here in Season 3 of the WHELEN Modified Divisions. We appreciate you, Zach.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. You too. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the number 6 of Zach Evans in the Me Fine Modified. He'll pull off. They go to the garage area. We'll scoot down here to the number 03, Denison, Texas driver of Dylan Thomas. And Dylan Thomas had a hell of a race here tonight as he joins us inside of the booth. Dylan, kind of walk us through your race here tonight. Pretty much gifted the race lead right there after a big stack up and wreck on lap number 1, turn 1. You also picked up the win here tonight in the heat race. Kind of walk us through your race here tonight all together at Langley.
Yeah, that wreck on the start, I think, is what kind of hurt me later in the race. I think I got some pretty good damage out of that. I know a lot of guys were kind of trail braking, getting in, using a little brake, and anytime I touched the brake, the right front would just absolutely slam the ground. Couldn't turn the car, so I had to relearn how to drive the track again with no brake, and I figured it out right before that last yellow. Started reeling them back in. I think I was running fourth or fifth. Started reeling in the guys in front of me, and then the caution came out, and that just kind of set us in for where we were.
We've been absolutely fast all year long. Another 22 laps led here tonight that add to the total have put you probably well over 200 laps led on the season. So you've had some speed, and to think about all the way back to LA Coliseum being your pretty much one of your first ever races on the iRacing platform, all the way to here now, you've obviously you've been really fast all year long and improved. Just appreciate you joining in. Cannot wait to see how things shake out 2 weeks from now at Richmond. How do you feel about the payouts and the championship 2 weeks from now?
Well, I think I should be pretty good at Richmond, and we'll just see where this thing lands. Should be quick there, and we'll figure it out.
We appreciate it. That's the NR3 Design 03 of Dylan Thomas. He'll win the heat race here tonight at Langley and bring home a solid top 5. We appreciate you, Dylan.
Thank y'all.
Yes, sir. That's Dylan Thomas, driver of the number 03 here tonight on the BD Scoot Racing channel. We'll scoot down here to P5, Patrick McPeak, and we're being told from the admin that Patrick McPeak will be scored here tonight in this P5 position, not the P8 spot in the final results, as we bring Patrick McPeak into the booth with us in this number 61 WHELEN Modified. Patrick, kind of walk us through your race here tonight. We are been told and been aware that you will finish here in this 5th place spot and be awarded the points after a unnecessary iRacing call of you cutting the apron. So throw that to the side. You had a fast modified here tonight involved in that accident early on in tonight's event. But besides that, you were all over the back bumper of Neil Rutt. Kind of maybe a little bit of contact. Walk us through it.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think it was a bad call from iRacing, but it's not really iRacing's call at this point. It's just the league owners or the league officials make these calls. So they thought it was unfair. So whatever they say is how it goes. So I'm not going to argue with it or anything because it's going to give me the points that I actually need right now. But I'm just disappointed how the run went out. Didn't mean to spin a Neil out. Just tried to give him a little bumps to get him up the track so I could pass him because I knew I had the chance to pass these guys because I was saving tires like hell this whole entire race. And it's a disappointment. It's hard that you put so much effort and time into these cars and then you screw up yourself and screw up the whole team. And it can really be tiring and frustrating. But it's something that we just got to learn from our mistakes and hopefully to make ourselves perfect. But there's no way to be perfect. So, but this was a fun race. Actually, had a great time. Luckily, we got a top 5, which is our goal. So. Very happy how things turned out.
It was a great race here tonight for the number 61 team. We'll head to Richmond 2 weeks from now, and we will do the payouts when the checker flag flies there. You're currently sitting in the 2nd place position with looking at a pretty decent payout. It's going to be tough to maybe close up the gaps. Not impossible yet. We'll have to see how things shake out with the final points results. Just kind of walk us through your season altogether, coming in, finding the league, this being your first season. With the season set to return in season 4, we expect you to probably be one of the championship favorites. How do you feel about all around your season?
I had an absolute blast. It felt like it was sheer dominance. Felt like it was some great racing. Very glad I found this league. Just best league I've ever been in. Been doing league racing for 10 years now and doing iRacing for 2 years, about to be 3. And putting on one hell of a racing, having the best racing I've had in a long time. And winning winning multiple races in one season, it's been unheard of for the past 6 years for me. So I'm very happy about that. And just long as AF1 can walk away with the championship here, that's all that matters. Because this is my first ever owning a team since 2021. This is the first time I've owned a team since. And putting on a hell of a show and running fast every single week it's a dream come true for me, really. It doesn't matter if it's on iRacing. It doesn't matter if it's in IRL, NASCAR. you name it. I don't care where it is. When you have a team that's AF1, you can say, hey, I'm the one who run that team, and we walk away with the championship. That's just a dream come true for me.
And we appreciate it. Patrick McPeak will look to try to close up that point standings 2 weeks from now at Richmond and bring home the championship. We appreciate you, Patrick.
Yep. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. That's the 61 of Patrick McPeak. He'll bring home a top 5 here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll scoot down here to the 72, and we'll have one more after him as Ace Throckmorton joins in the booth here in this number 72 machine. Ace, kind of walk us through your race here tonight. Trouble, lap 100 feet into tonight's race. You spun the tires, kind of got tossed and turned around there, but a fast modified. You were the only one to kind of get those lefts down underneath the paint and on down to the apron and gain some speed. Guys kind of grabbed along and gravitated towards your line towards the end of the race. Just kind of walk us through it. You were upside down at one point during this race.
So the first race, the start, I screwed up, spun the tires. I thought I was jumping the start on Zach because he didn't get a run, I'm guessing. So I checked up and I tried to like give him the spot back so I didn't get a black, but I spun the tires and hooked them and I messed up my right front, but I felt I was faster. After that, I ran the fastest lap right after that, or ran a 6th, 10th faster. But I felt like we had a great car. If we didn't get right hooked, I felt like we would have had not right hooked. If we didn't flip and messed up the left front, I feel like I would have had a shot at winning the race. And yeah.
And I agree up here from the booth. You were definitely faster at the time than the 61 when the time of the incident took place and you went upside down the back straightaway. We were able to ride on board with you. Maybe it looks like just a couple guys didn't come out of the gas, which it was what altogether got you upside down. But when it's all said and done, you had a really, really good modified season, probably compared to your late model season tomorrow night. Kind of walk us through what you expect 2 weeks from now at Richmond and tomorrow night at Oxford Plains in the late models.
For Richmond, I feel like we may be fast. We may have a shot at winning the race, but we're not going to win the championship for the modifieds. Late models tomorrow at Oxford Plains. I'm hoping to go in, beat Chase Johnson, gain a few points, win the race, and go into wherever the last race for the late models, Martinsville. Hopefully go in and win that race and win the championship because we're only 29 points back from the late model. And I feel like we have a good shot at winning the championship. Me or Walker. I don't know if Walker's going to make the race tomorrow night, but I feel like I have a shot at winning the championship if Chase Johnson doesn't win at Oxford tomorrow.
It's going to be an absolutely banger of a race tomorrow. Tomorrow night, Oxford Plains, the first time any driver on the Booty Scoot Racing channel has seen that in a league race. So the advantages are absolutely fair and even. We'll see you 2 weeks from now at Richmond. A great race here tonight from you, Ace.
Yep, thank you.
We appreciate it. That's the number 72 of Ace Throckmorton. He'll bring home the 9th place position here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Looks like we'll roll down here to our final interview of the night. It will be the number 66 former broadcast crew who traded the microphone out for a wheel tonight. Neil, absolutely dominating run. We were talking about it earlier around lap 20 or so before we lost connection to the stream and had to rejoin back in. Langley, kind of similar to Wall Stadium in some bits fashions, flat, fast. You've been cutting your teeth in the Northeast in the Modified Division Series for well over 10 years. Kind of walk us through your race here tonight. You're going to have the hard charger war, lead the most laps, and possibly a win. Just contact there off of turn 2 with McPeak.
Yeah, obviously it's always fun to get back in. Short track style-wise, yeah, it's similar to Wall, but the shape of it's kind of like one of the tracks we run up in PA, Evergreen Raceway. Very flat, kind of similar in the corners and whatnot. So obviously we got a couple laps under our belt here in real life to get comfortable with this place. It was pretty, started in the back, obviously, traded in the headset for a helmet tonight, like always sometimes. Love running with these guys. Obviously we don't have that much car, so it's always good to get out here and just kind of, most of these guys in this series haven't really raced with me, so it kind of can maybe teach them some things, show them some things. I know Michael Johnson always laughs that I'm like the tire guy at the end of these races in the modifieds. I know Zach's our tire guru, but like for some reason I'm always like 10-15% more tire left at the end of these races. For the contact, it happens. I mean, I said that the car was going to be tight in my head going into turn 1, and it was a little tight, so, Patrick was able to cross me over. He got a good jump on me going down to the turn 1, crossed me over. A little bumper tag, and that was really it. No harm, no foul. I enjoyed racing with him throughout the whole race. It was a great battle. Working our way to the front. So nothing really too bad, nothing really too sad to hang our head about. We've got 2 weeks. We'll go to Richmond. We'll see. Maybe we'll show back up at Richmond and show these guys what we can do. The last time we ran Richmond in this series, I led Wall 100 laps. So we'll see what we can do with these guys.
We appreciate it, Neil. Right, looking to possibly triple it down. 2 starts on the season was our topic. Your 2 starts to majority of the field's 8 starts. So the guys really had to learn. But do 95 laps of green flag racing after that initial wreck to start tonight's race. Kind of walk us through just what you've seen on track. Tons of great etiquette. Lap traffic guys getting out of the way, letting the lead car guys move. Just what can these guys learn taking this from this season into next?
Yeah, obviously, hopefully maybe next year we'll get the consistency of the cars throughout the whole season. Lap cars, they learn to where you don't wait to the last second. Obviously you don't want to give up precious track time and track position, but sometimes you got to let just the faster guys go, and it's going to benefit you. You can get right back behind them and kind of learn the lines and try to give a little bit more feedback to yourself throughout the race. Sorry, drew a blank there. Get a little feedback there towards the race. But I think with the low car counts, it might honestly benefit a lot of these guys. Some of our newer guys, just because they're able to race more. They're not in cautions and whatnot, so they were able to just turn laps and just figure things out, learn some new people, learn how some people wreck. I'm pretty sure the 12 guys that we've been getting here every single week are coming back. That's almost like a promise, it seems like, from these guys, which I appreciate all of them. Great racing, like you said, 90 plus laps, green flag. The new update on these cars kind of caused that initial wreck. The tires don't fire off right off the bat, so wheel spins is a big thing now in these modifieds on the restarts. It was the same way on lap 108. So it's gonna happen. Richmond obviously will be a little bit more high speed on a restart, so we might not see it as much, but when we go back to these short tracks next year, with this new update, we'll probably have a little bit more wheel spin and a little storytells on on the restarts.
And hopefully we'll have some new tracks in by that time as well for these guys to go take place and see a great race here tonight from you, Neil. Hopefully we were trying to see you in victory lane, but a top 10 when it's all said and done. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We'll see Neil Rutt 2 weeks from now at the Richmond Raceway as he brings home a top 10 inside of his number 66 WHELEN Modify. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like that'll do it for the driver interviews here tonight on the post-race show live at the Langley Speedway. It was an excellent race, 115 laps here tonight. Got moved over a little bit into the overtime. A couple cautions there to close it out, but over 95 plus green flag laps in a row. Put on some great racing, some awesome etiquette with inside of the field here tonight. When it's all said and done, it's Michael Johnson winning his 3rd race of the season and absolutely didn't have to do anything to get it, guys. Carnage at the end of tonight's event led majority to that happening. Well, tonight's points results. This is coming into tonight's race. This is not current standings as they were. Michael Johnson's just going to add on to that 361 points that he has scored and add another win to his total. He'll grab his 8th top 5 of the season. Patrick McPeak had a decent race as well, and these guys definitely had probably some point changes coming up. Cody Klauser not in the field here tonight, so he might fall back further from that top 10 points paying spot that will award the money. Mike Doyle had a better finish here tonight over Nate Hall. Over Nate Hall by 1 position. We'll see how that shakes out. Plenty more 2 weeks from now on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. You're not going to want to miss a thing. Reminding you folks, tomorrow night, live on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, tune in for the Oxford Plains Raceway for the late model stocks division. And we also want to remind you, before we go off the air here tonight, breaking news from one of our sponsors, the Home Run Cafe, asking you for your prayers and condolences as one of their owner-operators was involved in an accident this past week. The Home Run Cafe, as many as you may have heard, our owners Reed and Tia were recently involved in a serious accident and have a long road to recovery ahead of them. Right now, we ask for prayers, positive thoughts, and support as they focus on healing. Reed and Tia have poured their hearts into the Home Run Cafe, and during this difficult time, our team is committed to keeping things running the best that they can. We kindly ask you for your patience and understanding as we navigate restocking, scheduling, as many of other things behind the scenes, responsibilities that Reed and Tia normally handled on a day-to-day basis. The greatest way to support the Home Run Cafe through the Booty Scoot Racing channel or in support of them at all right now is to by contacting them or heading over to the Home Run Cafe located at their 2 stores. Every visit, every meal, every time, anything that you can do to help out the Home Run Cafe, that is sincerely deep from the Home Run Cafe team. We'll also show the Home Run Cafe located at 4 Mill Street, Emmons, South Carolina, 29349, 864-561-6955. We're at 810 North Main Street in Greer, South Carolina, 29651. You can contact them today, 864-915-4721. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it here tonight at the Langley Speedway, live on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Season 3, Dash for Cash, race 9's in the book. One more race remains after tonight's awesome race at Langley Speedway. We'll do the night's weather report, 73 degrees, as you work your way back to the parking lot. 9-mile-per-hour wind blowing in from the northeast. Partly cloudy conditions, scheduled for a little bit of rain on down the road, so make sure you grab your umbrella. This is the Booty Scoot Racing channel. This has been a fun one here tonight, the I-85 Langley Classic. We'll see you tomorrow night at Oxford.